Okay, and welcome back. Picking where we left off last time in the Long Dark, where we're in that cave on the way over to Mountain Town. We did just sleep to get our fatigue back to full, doing a little bit of brain management here before we leave the cave. Yeah, so we don't have to do as much right at the climb. So hydrating and eating and stuff like that, just to wait a little bit. Anyway, we're going to leave basically 12 sticks behind when we get to the climb is I think what's going to be. It isn't too bad. See how bad it is. It is early morning, so it's probably going to be cold.
Too heavy.
Oh, there's... Leave all the charcoal behind. Save a little bit of weight. I'll leave the stone behind. Definitely find another one where we're going. And yeah, then we just gotta leave sticks behind when we get there. It's the climb. We'll climb down. It is cold enough that I'll probably need to take a short stay over in the cave between the two climbs. Just to try to warm the character up a bit. So I don't want to take too much condition damage. And yeah, the main goal of this episode is we've actually mapped Mountain Town already, so the goal is sort of just to travel through Mountain Town. Picking up some stockpiled resources along the way. Like, I just left the charcoal behind, which isn't a problem, because we can pick up more in Mountain Town along the way to Hush River Valley. There is food along the way. There's probably going to be sticks and stuff along the way, so we can leave some of the sticks, leaving the sticks behind isn't going to be a problem. We just have to get down to 45 kilograms to do the climb down, and then the climb up. You know the jig, probably, when it comes to climbing. Okay, if we're going to be having to warm the cave, might as well burn a little fatigue and we do it sleeping. Sprint a little bit here. Because I'm not too worried, because this first climb, and this is one of the reasons I usually take this as the way into and out of Mountain Town, it's a climb down and then climb up, regardless of which way you're going. Whereas the other way into or out of Mountain Town is 2 climbs, that if you're entering Mountain Town, it's 2 climbs up. If you're leaving, it's 2 climbs down. I tend not to use it as the way out, because it does take you through Orland Muskeg. So that's kind of the one advantage of maybe doing a climb down, is often it's easier to climb down. So maybe you want to take the other way if you're leaving, which I suppose we did take the other way on the way out last time. But usually I just come in and out this way, because it's basically sort of the same both ways. It's a climb down, climb up. So we're cold, we're taking damage, so we're going to try to sprint as quickly as we can over to the place where we can't warm between the 2 places. Between the 2 climbs. He's right over there. Use for an hour. The plus 5 degrees from the bedroll should help us warm up much faster. Get back on the variable road a lot faster. It's still early morning, so it's still going to be cold. Gonna sprint a little bit over here to get to the next climb. We got the fatigue definitely to get up the climb. And again, I don't really want to lose any more condition. Would like to recover a bit more before we get into HRV Valley. HRV Valley, because there's no... Well, if you exclude the caves in HRV Valley, there's no indoor areas in HRV Valley. I'm close enough now that I want to cover the sprint meter so we can go up the climb in one go. Now we just shimmy up the rope here. And it is blisteringly cold. So as a side effect, it can sometimes be a bit hard to warm up without using a bunch of fuel in HRV Valley, which maybe isn't going to be so much of a problem for us because we're planning on mapping when we get in there, but I feel like we're going to be going through fuel like there's no tomorrow in HRV Valley. Okay, this is another place we can warm up. I'm not sure how much time I want to spend here, other than the fact that I do want to warm up here. So as I just pass time in the bed. I pass for 1 hour time, just to get warm. There we are. And then we'll hydrate and get on the move again. So we're walking through Milton Park. The next place I'm going to stop is going to be grandmother's cabin. It has a different name in, well, it has a different occupant. Actually, it has an occupant in the story mode than it does in survival mode. We're going over to like the big house in Mountain Town. Oh, I suppose there is a building here. No, I spooked the wolf. Which I suppose is a good thing it's just running. There's a warehouse up here we haven't explored. I'm gonna go duck in the warehouse and see what's in it. But yeah, the plan right now is to get over to the big house. Yeah, so well, I say this is a warehouse. This is cabin shaped, but it's pretty warehouse looking inside. More of a moment in here while we check. Is there anything useful in here? I think this place is a little bit more likely to have useful stuff than just the random houses in town, which we also haven't gone. We haven't gone through most of the houses in town. We're mainly focusing on mapping. Candy bar. Mapping Forlong. My brain is not working. Mapping Mountain Town. Rather than just looting it, because there's a lot of loot that we don't really need. That's the point. Okay, let's see if we can get through here without running into any walls. I think it was just a flyover. See the building I'm going to? That's the building up there. Well, good news, my bear coats are pulling work. Bad news, I've been in two scenarios where I would have been jumped from a wolf if I wasn't being saved by my coat.
Can't feel my hands.
Yeah, we're gonna spend the rest of the way over to the cabin here. I'm spooking the local bunnies. Apparently another lantern here if we need it. Here's my cured bear hide from earlier. Scrap
Something's
metal.
gotta go.
I don't got any tools though, so the scrap metal's a little bit... Like, I want to use it, but we don't got the stuff to use it, so we'll leave the scrap metal behind. It is bright enough that if I have some guts, I can use the bear hide. So I'm going to use the bear hide while we're here. I don't have any guts yet. We'll have to take it with us because I know where the guts are. We're going to go check them with those guts. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. The guts are over by where we killed the bear. So we're going to basically go grab a gut. And along the way, we'll actually come across our food, so... Maybe didn't spend enough time to warm up, but we'll be fine. We'll just do a bunch of sprinting here. Oh, fun, actually. We're going back into the cabin. Wolf has said I am not allowed to go the way I'm going. Wolf has said I'm not going the way I'm going. Okay, temporary solution is I'm going to warm all the way up here, and then we're going to get en route.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Hopefully the wind is in a better situation so we can carry a torch with us. So that should clear the wolf out of our way. It may not. It may put the wolf right back where it was, but which would still be in our way. But we don't know until we see. Oh wait, still cold. Still wolf? Don't immediately say wolf. So at least he's not directly in our path this time. Again, I'm basically sprinting towards food, and towards where I'm planning on having the character sleep, so I'm not worried about burning the fatigue, because I'm just going to turn it into health. I'm going to burn the fatigue in calories, so I'm just going to turn it into health. I think maybe as the crow flies, that might be a faster path to where we're going. So we won't quite go past the church.
I'm not sure I can carry much more. So yeah, right now the goal is basically sprint out to where the food is in Mountain Town. Behind that will be the cave where we left the guts. I think I only need 2 guts to do the bearhide cloak repair that I'm thinking of doing. At which point we'll go over to the transition cave. We'll explore the transition cave and grab all the loot in it. And that's probably where we'll put the part break in. Leaving HRV Valley for the next stream. If I'm quick with it, I might be able to do the whole thing in the next stream. I am planning on making the next stream a 5-parter. We've attracted another wolf. Feel my feet.
Is it sunny? Yes. We'll just make a torch to scare the wolf off with. Hello, wolf. I make fire. You're scared of fire, right? Okay, I'm going to want to be trying to do this as quickly as possible because we're taking a little bit of cold damage here. He's running the way we are. That's no good. Boy, this place is wolf infested now that we've removed the bear. And back to sprinting like a maniac.
Might have to drop some gear.
Really? Gotta run back in front of me again. And of course, we don't have a stone on me, so we have the much longer draw animation for the bow to deal with. Oh, at least now he's run off the way we're not going. Yeah, let's, how cold is it with my torch? 11? Okay. Let's take the moment to use some of our copious number of sticks to cook some of this meat. Get a little bit more of the meat cooked.
Come on. Too much stuff to carry.
Torch put away, it's -14. So I'm gonna put all the sticks into it. Which is not gonna be quite enough, but we can just disassemble a couple of torches to get a few more degrees, I think. This is one of the reasons I was not worried at all about calories. Because as long as we got here, we'd have plenty of calories. Fire's not that warm, so we're not going to warm up all that quickly, but we are gaining the opportunity to make some more calories in a way where we're not taking any real damage. We'll pick up a stick on the way, so I won't bother to grab a stick. Or won't bother to disable them with the torch. Okay, so we're down to the point where we're gonna quick speed these ones through. Next pair on. Snooze for an hour for the warming up bonus. Definitely had enough fire in that, or enough fuel in that fire for that to be warm, so I guess the wind blew it out. That's bad.
Never felt so cold in my life.
Went to sleep with more than an hour of fuel in the fire and woke up to no fire. Okay, so we've definitely taken a lot more condition damage from, well, I could have taken as much as 20% there. That's real bad. Yeah, took a lot of condition damage I didn't want to. Next stop is repairs on our Bearskin Cloak. And then if the weather plays along, we're going to go to that transition cave and explore the transition cave. In hindsight, I may rethink going into Mountain HRV Valley, depending upon our condition after the long rest. That'll be a decision I have to make early next part. Yeah, maybe in hindsight I should have done past time instead of sleep, and I could at least cancel mid hour, because I failed to pick up the stone there. Okay. You're not guts. Pretty sure there's the guts. I think I need 2 for the repair. Yeah.
If I don't rest soon, I'm gonna faint.
And successfully repaired it, so we can take off and swap them. Okay, we warmed up enough that we should at least be able to hopefully make the trip back over to the transition cave without taking any more damage. Okay, at least when we get in there, we'll be able to take a full, like, 10-hour sleep. Because of the sun level, I might try... Yeah, I think I'm going to try to light... Well, what I'll do is I'll just light the torch using the sun, typically. I don't think it's going to be enough to cook this, though I could maybe get an idea of how far through the hour it went by lighting this. As the lit torch here will help keep me warm for the rest of the walk.
Alright.
Oh, no, it reset either way, so it's not going to tell me how much into the hour we got. Alright, so this nice lit torch here will provide me both safety and a little bit of warmth. The rest will walk over to that cave. Because, yeah, I'm a little uncomfortably low on condition, so not for the torch. We could be in a little bit of trouble getting over that cave. We'll take a 10-hour snooze in it after exploring it. At which point we'll then, in the beginning of the next stream, decide whether we've got enough condition to start mapping HRV, or if I need to about face and spend some more time recovering here in Mountain Town. Sadly, there's no convenient fishing huts in Mountain Town to fish in. You can fish here. There's definitely places you can put fishing holes. But there's no pre-made fishing huts. Same sort of thing with HRV. Bear coat doing its job. We're out of sticks. I'll grab a couple sticks here. I'm trying to resist the urge just to get there faster, because we're low on fatigue. And I don't want to take any more damage. That wolf is lucky that I don't want to waste any of my coal. But yeah, we probably got enough food for the exploration of HRV Valley. It's mainly just going to be about managing conditions so we don't get killed by anything. Because I'm pretty sure there is a bear out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if I got myself mauled by that bear at some point. If we got mauled in, like, this condition situation, we'd be dead. Okay, I might, because of how low our condition is, decide as soon as we step into the cave to sleep for the 10 hours. Oh, I could, it wouldn't be optimal, though. Optimal is to use this condition to heal. I was about to say, I could technically, I was thinking I could potentially just drink some coffee. But no, we'll do the cave exploration first. Yeah, so we're so low on fatigue, I don't want to lose any more fatigue, so we're going to do the cave exploration by lantern light instead of torchlight, which is not as long-term efficient, but in the efforts of getting the mapping done sooner,
Something's making me feel really tired.
it will make it a little bit less risky because we'll get a little more healing this way. Well, that's 32%. That's good enough to keep. Okay, let's get the exploration of the cave done. And then I'll probably eat, because we're not full recovered on fatigue, right? We were so close to 0 that we probably, if we didn't have dehydration concerns, could have slept for the full 12, almost. So we slept for 10, we got back most of it, and probably when we're done exploring, we'll be able to sleep for another 2. We're done food in the cave here. We'll be able to sleep for another 2. Good to see a high yield of coal, as that will allow us to do quite a bit of low temperature early morning mapping. Okay, there's the exit. So we've been through, we mapped everything. I'll put these sticks as well. Not that we need the sticks. Nope, don't want to pass time. I want to put the bedroll down. I suppose it's the middle of the night, so we're not going to map in this weather anyway, because there's nothing to see. Okay, we'll sleep. This is a good time for the saves. This is where I'm going to go ahead and put the part break and the stream break. And then next time, we'll decide if we've got enough condition or whatever to do HRV. That's probably enough. We got up to 70-something. I suppose, actually, what I could do, because I've just saved, spend some time to look through, it's going to be the end of the stream, look through things like the journal. So we're up to day 205. Most of our skills are level 5. Ice fishing, we're only up to 4. We haven't shot a rifle, but we already got rifle up to 2. Mending is 3. Mending's actually the lowest, I think, of the stuff we're actively using. Everything else is 5. And fishing is 4. Fabled Cartographer, surveyed regions. Again, the only, of the basically Fabled Cartographer regions, the only one that we haven't done is HRV Valley with the last 24 places. I haven't found... Don't know if the rock caches are things that you find or things that you make. But I haven't found any rock caches. It's been a while since I made any notes. As you can see, the last one was day 140, Misanthrope Island salt mined. So the salt's probably back, for example. Trapper's Cabin. I don't think Trapper's Cabin actually has a heavy hammer anymore because I think we took it. So I should. Well, this is not going to get saved, so I'm not going to modify this right now. And that doesn't have the tip-ups anymore. We consumed them. Yeah, so I don't know how much of this is up to date. That one is correct. Forlorn Muskeg Hammer, or Forlorn Muskeg Hammer is at Lost and Found. There's also one at the Forge, but yeah. We survived 203 days. We're on day 205, but we survived 203 because you start some portion into day 1, and we haven't gone all the way through day. We haven't gone to the same place in day 205 yet to make it 204. We explored 254 locations, which, as you can see, isn't actually the most I've done. On Stalker, I have done Faithful Cartographer before, so well, that's what we're working towards. We're pretty close. I haven't expended as many calories in that Stalker run, though we're getting close. We're actually spending more calories probably per day. Oh, and over here on the right we can see how much I spent prior. So actually this run I'm spending fewer calories per day than previous runs on this difficulty. This is the longest distance traveled Stalker one. Still isn't quite as far as, or Interloper, still quite as far as the one I probably did Faithful Cartographer on. Decent number of hours awake, decent number of hours asleep. You can see where we've been and how long we've been every place. We haven't been for very long in Broken Road, which is what we basically did this stream. In fact, this stream and a little bit of the last stream is the only time we've been in Broken Road, so that's not surprising that's so low. We haven't been to Blackrock, we haven't been to any of the Tales of the Far Territory stuff yet. I've hit far fewer times than I've actually hit the shot, yeah. And far too many close encounters. Oh, those are close encounters. Okay, so I think that's every time I need to scare them off with like a stone or something. Only 15 of them became struggles. I won all the struggles, which is good because I'd be dead otherwise. I've only killed 29 wolves. Well, I haven't actually been going out of the way to kill very many wolves. Only distracted them once with the decoy, apparently. This run. I've done apparently more on previous runs. Survived 4 bear attacks. The Stalker one apparently survived 5. Granted, I think the Stalker one I had a rifle, so I was more prone to picking fights. And we're consuming a bunch of meat, fish. Actually, somewhat surprised I consumed so much fish on the Stalker run. That would have been before scurvy, I think. Yeah, just scrolling through. This is where we're going to go ahead, and we've got an active trade, so we got stuff we can do when we get back to Coastal Highway. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and end the stream and end the part. So I hope you've all been enjoying, if you've been following along. If you're watching on YouTube, there probably will be a part up by tomorrow. I probably will have gotten around to recording more parts by tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I think we're going to transfer from a 4-day cycle to a 5-day cycle. So the next stream will be probably in 5 days. Well, the next stream of Long Dark. I'm streaming something every night, but what I stream changes every night. So this night was the Long Dark. If I do actually transition over to a 5-day cycle, the next stream of Long Dark will be in 5 days. Else it'll be in 4 days because something came up and I didn't slide the 5th game in. So with that, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. This is where I'm going to go ahead and end this part, and bye for now.